everybody, it's Michelle with Michelle C Fitness, and today I am coming to you straight from the floor of my office. So I just wanted to go over a few things about abs with you, because that is one of the body parts that I'm asked the absolute most on. Is, you know, how do I flatten out my abs? How do I get my abs flat? How do I get a six pack? Blah 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 blah. This summer in particular, I've gotten quite a few young gentlemen that have come through training, and you know, they're like moving into high school, moving in through junior high and all, and they all, you know, want to enter with a six pack. So I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about core training so that you can get a feel for what that actually is, and my professional viewpoint on it, as well as I was going to show you a few things that will get you ready to train your core. So one of the most important things is, a lot of times when we think of core, we think of the surface muscles. You know, your rectus abdominis, which is your six pack. We all have them, by the way. We all have the exact same abdominal musculature, whether you can see it, you know, or not. But we all have it. It's there somewhere. So what I focus more on when I'm actually core training is deeper than that. So it's the psoas, the quadratus lumborum, you know, the front of the low back spine, the back of the low back spine. And that's simply because if we're constantly building just the surface muscles, then the psoas and all can get a little bit lazy, and it can begin to have a lot of adverse effects on the lower back. And if you've seen recent statistics, there are, I think it was the last ones that I saw, it was over 64% of the United States has some kind of issue with their lower back. That's one of the most common reasons people call in to work. That's why they are missing work, is because their lower back. And I mean, it's not made up. It's not like they're going, oh, my lower back. It's a real issue. It's a real issue. My husband had bulging discs from, you know, twisting wrong when he was trying to unload a dryer by himself. But building up these muscles that actually surround the spine are going to help bring a stability, and then you can work out from there. So it's about working from the inside out, and there'll be plenty more videos on some of that, but I just wanted to show you today some of the simple to slightly more advanced, maybe intermediate core training techniques, and then we'll move on from there, because I really want to drill this in. And a lot of what I do in my own core training practice builds from yoga itself, sometimes from Pilates, but mostly from yoga, because yoga actually stabilizes the spine and then moves from that stabilization. And you know, if you're thinking about life in general, you're generally moving, you're not stabilized and then, you know, just sitting there. Usually when we're just sitting there, we're not stabilized at all. So it's about trying to get all of that together so that we have a strong center, a strong core, a strong foundation with which to continue on moving and living healthfully. So today, all I want you to do, you just start off sitting down. You can even be, you know, in your desk at work, and yeah, if you're, you know, got your headset on, people are gonna look at you funny, but whatever. The very first thing I want you to do is just suck in. Just like, you know, you take your belly and you suck in, and notice what happens when you suck in. Because when you suck in, you know, your belly moves in, but your diaphragm gets kind of crammed up into your chest, so you can't breathe very well. That's why everybody always says, I can't breathe when I'm doing my ab work. And I was fortunate enough to come from a yoga background. That's where I started in fitness, was yoga. And I always thought, why can you not breathe when you're doing ab work? That's crazy. Well, if you just suck in, you can't breathe very well, right? It's, you know, you've sucked in. And then also, I'll try to show you from the side. But, you know, you suck in, and your back, your actual spine, it like juts out into an uncomfortable place. It's a little more vulnerable there. So from here, all I want you to do, no matter where you're seated, is just, instead of sucking in like you're trying to put on pants that are a little too small, I want you to think about your spine, your actual spine, and I want you to lift up from the base of your low back spine. So think a lot lower, almost all the way to the pelvic floor muscles, but slightly higher than that. And you want to lift up and draw in. So you'll feel your lower belly start to tone. Ladies who have had children especially, this is how we get the lower belly to draw up and provide a little bit of length and get that to flatten out. It can be done, trust me. And then from here, take the back of the low back spine, so the back of the tailbone, base of the tailbone, and then draw that up to meet it. So you'll feel your whole spine lengthen, and it's kind of like, oh. And then your shoulders end up over your hips, and you feel pretty good about the whole thing. Now you're going to try to keep that the whole time. And if that's as far as you get, that's fine. But on an inhale, you can let that go. You can let everything just kind of sink down, and as you exhale, you pull up and in. If you're a runner, it's going to change your gait. It's going to change your run incredibly. You know, runners tend to get really tight in the tendons in the hips, and lightning, easily distracted. Anyways, they tend to get really tight in the tendons in the hips and around the sacrum. And by using this breath, pulsing this breath, by exhaling and drawing up rather than just tight in, then you're going to find that you're not going to be over relying on the hips, and you're not going to be tiring them out. So from here, you're going, and you know, if you're at work, you can totally do this, but they may not like it. You're going to move into all fours, and then this is called just a simple cat-cow. So you're going to keep your toes flipped under, and then think about the front of the low back spine. Lift it up so the lower belly lifts, then lift the back of the low back spine up. You're going to inhale, keep that lift as you simply pull the heart through, then as you exhale, round through the upper back. So you're getting your shoulders to let go. And you can do this, honestly, as much as you want to. Plant down really, really firmly through the palms. You know, bend the elbows, get the arms involved. And be careful that you're not jutting your neck out like that, because it really hurts the cervical spine. So you're just kind of gazing just a little bit ahead. Then you exhale, and you're thinking more about this part, okay, upper back here. It's not so much about, yeah, that's cute, isn't it? It's not so much about the lower back, it's the upper back. So from here, you're going to extend one leg out, take the opposite arm, reach and hold, and we all have a tendency to go a little more cow in this position. So draw the front of the low back spine in and up. On an exhale, you're going to pull the elbow and knee towards each other, but try not to over round, okay? Keep your gaze focused and steady. Inhale, extend. Exhale, draw in. La la la. All is well. You do about 10 of those on each side, and then you hold it. Keep this elbow a little bit soft so that you stay in the muscle, not in the joint. You don't want to lock out your elbow and stay in the joint. You want to stay in the muscle. Then when you're done with that, you can come down. Then from here, you can flip the toes under, take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, press the hips up so that you're downward facing dog. And then we're just going to do some simple waves. So anchor the legs back. Inhale, curl the tailbone. Wave the spine. Your head's going to come forward, then the shoulders are going to melt onto the back, and then just allow the head to dangle. So in your downward dog, your shoulders should never be loaded. They shouldn't feel like they're about to pop off. You know, a lot of people get those feelings in their upper back, and they think that's the way it's supposed to feel, and it's not. So from here on an inhale, come way up on the toes, curl the tailbone, bring it forward to a plank. Head is the very last. Then you exhale, press into the floor, round it back. Maybe the heels touch, maybe they don't. Inhale, drop forward, and extend. Exhale to come back. And you're going to do that at least 10 times, maybe a few more. Then from there, we're going to come down and just work into little variations of boat pose. And one of the things that I do in my class is we work single leg boats. So walking the feet in, and then press your sits bones down into the earth. We have a tendency to pull the sits bones up, clench the butt cheeks, and then we kind of rock back onto our tailbone, and we just kind of pray that the pose will be over soon. So you want to think more about the front of the low back spine, back of the low back spine lifting up, sits bones pressing down. And then you're going to take the left foot and reach through it. That's called a pointed foot, by the way. Oh, it totally looks like I have a foot for a head. All right, I'll move it this way. So from here, you want to flex through the foot, and then reach through the ball of the foot. Relax the shoulders, okay? press down through your sits bones so you come up a little bit. Some of us work here for a really long time. Whenever you're ready, you can release. Okay, press down through the sits bones, lift up. You can always switch sides. And, don't get all distressed over both. It's not there to make you feel bad. Okay, it's there to help you with your core strength. Whenever you're ready, both can come up. You can extend the legs, you can keep them in. You can go for a wide leg goddess pose boat. This is my favorite, but that's because I tend to be a little tighter in the hips. So, whatever boat works best for you. The key to keeping your boat afloat is to keep the front of the low back spine, back of the low back spine in. Once you get to where you can hold your boat for up to a minute, then you can start inhaling and extending the boat out. And then drawing it up again. Press down to the sits bones. Down, 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 down. Inhale, take it out. Exhale, everything lifts up. Inhale, take it out. Exhale, draw it up and in. Okay, so there we have it. Just a little bit of beginner to intermediate. Very brief, I know. But if you would commit to 5 to 10 minutes a day working your core, then you're going to see a lot of big changes. The next video that I'm going to give you on the core is going to go over some twisting movements that keep you safe, but also tone through the obliques and give you a smaller looking waistline. And then we'll also be talking about how to lengthen out those muscles because you want the torso to look very long. So for here, I want you just to focus on that breath, focus on pulling up. Remember, we want to pull up and protect the spine and think about those inner core muscles. If you do that, then all of this that's on the outside, that will fall into place later. But focus on your stability first. And I hope that you have a healthy day.